What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. When the 40-40-40 plan fails, what the hell do you do next? I'm glad you asked. That's what we're going to get into tonight. The 3 things you do when the plan you had for your life fails and how to recover. So some of you may be wondering, what's the 40-40-40 plan? Well, if any of you have gone to school in the traditional school system that we've all attended, there's this idea where you go to school, you get good grades, you find yourself a career, you start your life. And so you work for the next 40 years, 40 hours a week, to ultimately retire on 40% less than what you were making at the peak of your career. And that's kind of a de facto plan that a lot of folks had once upon a time as it pertains to pension. But they've got away from pensions, and now the only retirement funding that anybody has, for the most part outside of government workers, are 401ks. You don't contribute, there's nothing for you at the end of that working career. So it's going to be up to you to provide some type of future savings for your future, for your retirement, and ultimately for the older version of yourself. And so just a little bit about myself. We're going to go we're going to go full transparency. My name is Daryl O'Neal, per the channel. I decided to name it Mysterious Bag because it's taken me years to decipher behind how finance, investing, and money works, because I wasn't ever taught it at home or in my formal education. And I've attained education up to a level of a graduate degree. I have a graduate degree, aka a master's, you can call me a master sometime, in public administration from the Savannah State University. And so I started my career in 1997 with the Department of Public Health, and I was a young health inspector. And I was the person that went in and graded the scores, gave the scores to the restaurants in the city of Savannah. That's where I started my career. I left after about 7 years, went to the private sector, then came back after about a 1.5-year hiatus and secured a director position as the director of environmental health for the health inspectors. I spent about an additional 17.5 years in that capacity until December 7th, 2022. And this is the story for another YouTube video, as I strive to be more transparent in hopes of sharing my life's journey and stories to either inspire or aspire you to reach some of your personal goals as pertains to this journey on this floating rock. But on December 7th, 2022, I was fired. They fired me after 26 years with the Department of Public Health. And I won't go into the details. It's been about a year since that happened. And as the thumbnail says in the title, what the hell do you do next? Well, I found myself asking that very same question about this time last year. And that leads me to the 3 things I'm going to share with you. Because after you've done something for about 26 plus or minus years of your professional life in state government, in a regulatory capacity and managerial capacity, you start to question, what the hell was it all for? And so the number one thing I would share with you is to find a way to be grateful. I know it probably sounds cliche. Just got my ass fired and I'm supposed to be grateful for that. Well, one of the things I leaned on in that space, beyond the support of my family, they surrounded me, my wife, my sons, my parents, my siblings. But when life happens to a man, you have to look within, because that's where the answers reside. It lies within who you are as a man, the character you've cultivated and developed. And in case you didn't know, I got fired about 2 months on the eve of my 50th birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, mother. Oh, sorry, I got carried away. Yeah, so I look within, and one of the quotes that brought me peace was by this guy by the name of Napoleon Hill. He's the author of Think and Grow Rich. And the quote states, every failure, every adversity, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. And I'm here to tell you, it's hard, or it was hard, to actually internalize that and find truth in that when the first emotion was anger, confusion, frustration. And when I've reflected on that particular statement, it carries with it the adversity or the failure or the heartache. It carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. And if we know anything about a seed, the only way it can grow is if it's buried. And so, I woke up the day after I was fired, buried under the reality of my life is no longer what it has been for the last 26 years. And how am I going to move forward? And so I leaned on gratitude, thankfulness that I was fortunate enough or intentional enough to always plan for the worst, although I look forward to the best, because you just never know when life is going to hand you a left turn when you've been going right for years. And so I've leaned on gratitude and thankfulness. I try to find something to be thankful for every day, no matter how rough the previous day was or how rough the current day is going. And one of the things I lean on is, hey, no matter how bad life gets, it's a beautiful thing to wake up on this side of it and have a chance to do it all over again. So gratitude, I would encourage all of you, no matter what's going on in your life, find something to be grateful for, whether it's your family, whether it's the air you breathe, whether it's the home you lay your head in, whether it's the opportunity to eat whatever food you desire, whether it's just the ability to walk and talk and do and think and pray. Find something to be grateful for every day. And so, what would be the second thing? Number 2, I promised you 3 things. Number 2, this one was more difficult than the first one. At 50 years old, or whatever your age may be and whatever your adversity you may be dealing with at the time, man, dust off your dreams. Dust off your dreams. One of my younger brothers lives down in Florida, Lewis. We call him Louie. One of the sweetest brothers, just human beings that I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. He said to me during the early stages of this transition, he said, "You know what, Daryl? Nobody ever thought you would grow up to be a health inspector. We don't remember you talking about that as any dream of yours." And I had to laugh. Who in the hell grows up dreaming of being a health inspector? Not any offense to all my health inspectors out there who may have aspired to be that, but Daryl O'Neal damn sure didn't. But the opportunity presented itself. I made the most of it. I gave it all I had for about 26 years, and it served me and my family well. And I'm forever grateful for the opportunity that I was extended. But I had to dust off my dreams. And when your dreams have been sitting on the shelf for so many years because you've been living life, raising a family, just going through the day-to-day challenges that life brings, with some highs, some lows, we have a tendency to forget that we were all once youthful dreamers, dreaming of being superheroes, changing the world, being rich, jet setting. As a young man, the world was our oyster, and there was nothing that we couldn't see ourselves achieving. And when I reflect back, at once upon a time, one of my early dreams was to become a doctor. And I say that or share that with you guys is because I graduated fourth in my high school class, and for the majority of my youth, I was told that, man, you're smart. Well, here's the thing. My favorite character growing up as a child was Curious George. I'm just curious about a lot of things, and the weird learning format that the current school system has, I just happen to thrive in it. It fed my strengths. I could study for tests and read books and write papers and get A's and then be bored out of my damn mind afterwards. So as I approached graduation, I was like, man, well, what do smart people do? They usually become doctors or lawyers. They pay the best from what I understood. Man, I got into the real world and realized that doctors had to go to school for like 9-10 years before they got paid. I was like, hell, I gotta eat now, which is a story for another video as well. And so that dream got scrapped and life got real. And so, long story short, I found myself revisiting at 50 years old, given what I've learned over the course of my journey here on this floating planet. If I could do anything, what would I do? I got some resources, I got some experiences, and I'm here to tell you, YouTube, one of the things I want to do is I want to stay uncomfortable. I've been comfortable and complacent in that capacity for 26 years. That reliable bi-monthly pay, and the idea that we can tap into who we are as creators and create the life of our dreams and turn your annual income into your monthly income still blows my mind. I left the Department of Public Health making roughly $80,000 a year. And I want you to join me as I strive to grow this channel, grow my influence, grow my ability to communicate and share messages to move the masses, have conversations that create cash flow, and see how far we can take this thing, because I'm going to share with you guys everything I learned on this journey and everything I've learned up to this point, because I truly believe anything's possible. And so one of my biggest fears for some weird reason is that for starting this YouTube channel, I've been starting this YouTube channel for about 8-9 years. It's crazy. It's taken 8-9 years to start this YouTube channel, but here we are. A good friend of mine is named Gerald Peters. He has a saying that says, hey, you don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going. So that's what we're doing, YouTube. I got the thumbnail joint going on. I'm gonna figure out this editing. I'm gonna start having stuff popping across the screen, cutting and chopping. But right now, it's just my iPhone and a ring light. So I appreciate y'all. So number 2, dust off your dreams. Look inside, give some thought, reflect on if you could do anything in your life moving forward, what would that be? What would it look like? What do you aspire to be? Because as long as the good Lord has blessed us with additional, air in our lungs, we got a chance to do something special. So that's number 2. And number 3, take action. Take action in the direction of your dreams. And what I mean by take action is exactly this. You're looking at one of the actions. Now, I've been fired for about a year, and it took me about a year to start this YouTube channel. But I pursued something after working in state government for 26 years. I decided I'm going to go from white collar to blue collar in pursuit of starting my own transportation and logistics business. And this is going to sound wild as hell, and I got some crazy stories to share with you guys. But 3 months from my termination, December 7th, March 15th. From December 7th to March 15th, I went and obtained a CDL to drive 18-wheeler trucks at the prompting of a dear friend that showed me a settlement statement from 2022, April, for $23,000 for 30 days of work, which I think he probably only worked for like 20 days, but it was $23,000. And I was like, well, damn, you made $23,000 in 1 month? So I figured I'd take him up on it. I took some action. I got a permit. I signed up for a 5-week class, and man, I went and got a whole CDL, and I've been driving 18-wheeler trucks for the last 8 months. And sheesh, I'm gonna tell you, it's different. It's different. It's different. But I got a vision. I got a mission. I got a dream of where that's gonna take me and my family, as well as me sharing that journey with you guys here on YouTube. And I don't want to let this video go on much longer. I want to share this quote with you. This is another quote that has sustained me. It's from the Good Book, and it's from Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and give you hope." And not harm you and bless you with a future. I think I screwed that up, but I think you get the gist of it. The Lord only desires for us to yield to Him, serve His people, and be the best version of ourselves as we move forward on this flowing rock. And as I continue this journey on YouTube, I just want to be more and more transparent, authentic, and ultimately, again, share lessons that have served me in my life, lessons that hasn't served me in my life, and keep you all abreast of that seed of equal or greater benefit from the adversities that we all face. Because I believe it was Muhammad Ali that says, service is the rent we pay for our room here on earth. And I look forward to serving the YouTube platform. I look forward to serving you all. I look forward to continue just becoming more of service, just out of my world as I pursue these dreams, as I remain grateful, and as I continue to take action in the direction of those dreams. YouTube, I appreciate you. If you found this video interesting or insightful, please bless that like button, add some comments, subscribe, hit that notification button. If there's anything in the contents you want to know about tonight's video or anything you want to see in the future, I read all the comments. I'm ever so grateful for you all tuning in and checking me out this week. I'll see you all next week, YouTube. Stay blessed.